Alright, what is going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode today. In today's episode, we're actually tackling a topic that, I've been experiencing for some time, and it's actually to do with those are just a bunch of speed bumps, but where do you guys purchase your car parts from? Because I ran a few polls, and I think we can get into the polls right now. So in this week's MG polls, we're just rounding up the week's polls. If you go to the community side of the channel, you'll find everything I've been asking on the channel. So let's get right into it. Let's get into the first question, which is actually, where do you guys buy your car parts? Genuine parts, aftermarket is great, or whatever's cheapest? I'm glad 66% were genuine parts only. I would do that as well. But in today's video topic, you'll see why sometimes genuine parts can actually be pretty tricky. Anyways, the second question was, what kind of content do you guys enjoy on this channel? Car reviews, tackling certain car topics, videos regarding my own vehicles, or Land Cruiser content. 43% love Land Cruiser content only. And the last question was, what is the smoothest engine? Is it the 100 series 2U ZFE, or is it the 200 series, the more powerful 200 series 2U ZFE? I'm glad this was pretty nicely split and even. I personally think the 100 series is actually smoother, but that was this week's roundup. But yeah, we just went through the polls and saw you guys' answers and stuff. But I've been tackling this topic of, where do you guys actually get your parts? You back in the day, you could go to the dealer, or you have a bunch of independent sort of parts guys that can sell to you. So I'm interested in knowing, where do you guys get your parts? Because from my experience and in recent days, even when you get an OEM part, even when you get a genuine Toyota part sometimes in Kenya, it really doesn't perform the way you expected. The way a genuine part should perform. Usually when you're taking out a genuine part from your Land Cruiser, it's already lasted like 10, 20 years. So you expect the replacement to give you a similar interval, but you'll find that replacement will die much quicker, maybe in 5 years or even less. And it's the question and the topic of, are they making parts these days to the same standard and the same quality, or is everything just planned obsolescence? Let the parts get destroyed, let parts die, so people just keep buying more and more and more. And this is something that has to do with the quality and the quality of many products these days. They're just not built to the standard, and that's why you'll find a lot of the time that the products of back in the day just perform really well. And that's probably why I like older vehicles as well. I think they're just built to a different standard. But for today's video, actually, what I did, I had a little issue that cropped up on my 80 series. Basically, I had bought a fan belt. I replaced both my drive belts about 2 years ago, and I had bought them genuine OEM Toyota parts, totally checked it out, everything genuine. And those belts really didn't serve me well. I had taken out the original belts from the vehicle because I thought those were getting pretty old now, and it would be good to change them. But these new belts absolutely cracked and withered away. And maybe the rubber was old, or they sold me an aged part. But I was really disappointed with the performance of those belts. Let me take you through that right now. I heard a little tick, 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 that kind of sound at the front of my car. I thought it was like a mild engine knock or something. So I said, let's check the oil pump. Not the oil pump. Let's check the oil strainer in the engine. Let's just make sure everything is nice and clean so that the oil is circulating. So we checked the oil strainer, and I'll take you through those videos right now. The oil strainer, here it is, looks pretty clean. In fact, it was pretty clean, so we just cleaned it up a bit more, put everything back together. But when we inspected the belts, guys, the belts are really in bad condition. So check this out. I'm just going to take you through the belts now. So this is the old belt, guys. This is the belt I just took off the vehicle. And as you can see, there are literal chunks and huge cuts in this belt. I mean, there are two belts, and both of them are in exactly this condition, so I'm replacing the two of them. But you guys can see this. A lot of you, maybe you'll say in the comments, maybe the belt wasn't installed correctly, but if there's a bearing issue or an alternator issue that's causing the belt to be worn a bit more, then you would get wear and tear that would be kind of making this a bit thinner. But the way this is cracking and falling apart, this cries of foul play. This tells me I was sold a belt that was old, that was manufactured a long time ago. The rubber didn't have the life in it, and so when the rubber was put to work, it started breaking apart. So anyways, this is the old belt, and this is what we're gonna get changed out today and get those new belts in and see how those wear. So this is actually the new belt, guys. As I showed you the old belts that were really cut and worn pretty badly, this is the new belt that I've got, and I'm told these are used in all the sort of the Land Cruiser Touras, the 79 series, and it looks like a much stronger belt. And the rubber seems in good condition, seems very thick, and so this should wear a lot better. So this is our oil sump, guys. As you can see, since we checked out the oil strainer, which also looked pretty clean, so now we're just going to get this cleaned out. But it doesn't look like we have any sediment or anything collecting at the bottom. This looks fairly clean. So as you just saw from the belts, guys, not particularly good condition, absolutely withered away, falling away. And so it really made me wonder about genuine and what I feel about genuine parts. And so I needed a good quality drive belt, and I've had a lot of issues with drive belts. The quality is really questionable, guys, these days. Make sure you pick up the right belts. Don't just go blindfold, give your chassis numbers, get your parts, and just inspect the quality of your parts, check where they're made from. They'll really surprise you. So anyways, I ended up getting a belt from actually a local manufacturer or a local company here in Kenya that have been maybe making these belts for a long period of time. And my instruction to my mechanic was, find me something of quality, something that will last. Something these Safari, the Land Cruiser 79 series vehicles, something they use when they go out in the bundoos, something that will stand the test of time, because Africa is different. And we need quality parts out in the bush. I mean, this belt the previous one could have torn on me when I was out in some of my tougher trips. So we ended up going for a Matsusuka. It's called Matsusuka. It's maybe a local brand. You guys can check it out. But I will let you know how these perform. But they did look, a bit stronger. They did look pretty nicely made. But let me not say anything. But so far, definitely engine is running quieter, less noise running through the cabin. I think the previous belt that I had withered and hardened up so much that it was causing also a lot of noise. Oh yeah, always,
Just taking all it.
So I've got that all changed up now, guys, and because I checked the oil strainer, I even did my oil service again. I'm using a 10W40 oil, and I even put a fresh oil filter. So the 80 is good to go now. But just really wanted to discuss this topic of where do you guys get your parts, and please be careful when you buy your parts, even if you've been told these are genuine parts or whatever. Just be careful, because hell, I don't trust manufacturers these days, and there's just too much planned obsolescence to actually get good parts. The next thing I mean, while we were inspecting, we also saw that my fan clutch probably needs replacement now. The bearing is starting to make some noise, and I'm on the lookout for a fan clutch. If any of you can get me an original one. So far, I've been advised that GMB is a good manufacturer. I think they're from Japan, because the genuine original fan clutches, you can't really get them anymore. But GMB seems to be a good option, but I've not gone for it yet. I'm still inspecting and seeing what to actually go for, guys. So quick video for you today. This was a topic that I thought we definitely had to go through, because these days you just don't know what's happening. You're not just finding the quality that you expect, the quality parts that last years and years and years. It's very questionable, very questionable. You can get spark plugs made out of China and some made out of Thailand, and both of them say Denso. And the one out of Thailand will perform better than the one from China, yet both of them are fully branded Denso or NGK or whatever. So hey, check your parts out, know who you're purchasing from, know that it's a reliable source, and then those parts will serve you well. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. If you did, make sure you hit like, subscribe, comment down below. As we gain more traction on this channel, you know, I do this as a hobby, I love this stuff. But if you guys enjoy my content, make sure you support my brand, which is Cheeky Treats, the snacks. You can find them in the supermarkets. Put a lot of my blood, sweat and tears into that. So I'll really be humbled if you'd appreciate those snacks, if you'd purchase them, if you'd support. We've been doing this for a while now, and yeah. In fact, I'm just on my way to my factory right now. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and it's been Masai Gaines checking out.